Almost everything we do today is controlled by machines or robots. The rate at which technology is advancing astronomically, one would be afraid for humanity. Now, a research has revealed that in 2030, about 40% of what human beings will be doing would be overthrown or controlled by machines. Now, this is called artificial intelligence, and if you search on Google or the internet, if you search for the 20 technology or tech trends that will be shaping the world, even in 2020, you will discover that artificial intelligence stays at the top on the list. What is technology or what is artificial intelligence? This is what we'll be looking at on our program today. Welcome to Money and Technology. My name is Ajara Ahmed Tijani. I'm not alone. I'm here with my co-presenter,
Prince Hamza Mohammed.
Together we'll be piloting the program. So stay with us and don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Now, welcome back from that break. We are talking about artificial intelligence on our program today, Money and Technology. And if you go to any seminar, if you attend any function or any webinar today, you get to hear a lot about artificial intelligence. Prince Hamza Mohammed. Now, when we talk about artificial intelligence, what is it that we're talking about?
So artificial intelligence is also known as machine intelligence, is a way of creating a machine that can copy or have the same skill set as human intelligence, or what they like to call it natural intelligence. So this is usually made because we want to make work more efficient or more faster for more better results. So you can have one person writing or signing, for example, thousands of letters or signing or documents or something like that, and you've got something like an AI with mechanical hands that can do the job maybe twice or three times as fast. So in order to get this efficiency and more productivity, they would use machine or AI, they would like to call it, to become similar as human intelligence, or maybe surpass, because there are some cases where the AI can surpass human skill set. So,
I can't even imagine a machine surpassing me in terms of intelligence. So are you trying to say that these things are created to imitate human intelligence, natural intelligence?
Most of them are created to be equal as humans.
Okay.
But most companies out there are actually designing their AIs to surpass human intelligence, to learn from their mistakes and become better than the average human.
Can you give us examples of this artificial intelligence that we can actually relate to in our world today? I'm sure some are still in the making. Maybe they are just about to build them, or maybe they are still working on them. What examples can you give that we can quickly relate with for those people that might not really understand what artificial intelligence is?
Once you open your Google Chrome browser or Google and you're on the search engine, not many people know that there is actually an AI built into Google. Will learn from your search history and everything, and will produce more better and accurate results, and will target ads towards you. No one ever knew that. So let's say you went on to Google and you write dogs or anything. Later on, they will use that information that it has learned about you as a person and target advertisements of dogs or whatever you've searched towards you. So,
oh my God.
It's learning every day. Thousands and thousands and millions of search results of you, and that's how they create a proper AI. But there's different types. Different companies have different ways of functioning. There is a company called Freenome.
Okay.
What they do is they do cancer screenings in AI. So instead of a doctor or a nurse checking your blood, checking to see...
Going through all those processes?
All those processes. It will take days for your results to come back.
Okay.
There's an AI called Freenome. What it does is it will take people's blood samples and will recognize disease-associated patterns for cancer research, and will, just like that, develop better treatment, and will give you your feedback and everything like that. So it will basically return whether you have cancer or if you should have better treatment faster than normal.
Okay. Now, there's an advert I saw, a long time ago, like 3 years, if not more. It's about a specific car, a brand of a car, where they are trying to tell us that it is being automated. There's no driver there. The car was actually moving in a forest, in a very thick forest, and there's a ghost that feels, oh, I'm going to attack this car. What are you looking for in this environment? And the moment the ghost opens the door just to attack the driver or the people in the car, discovers that the car is just being driven is driven by itself, or maybe by machine. And the ghost was very scared, like, what in the world is this coming from? You understand? So in the world of machine, in the world of what we use today, how far can you say this is really, affecting humanity?
There's
maybe on a positive way.
Yeah, there's a basic AI and there's a more advanced AI.
Okay.
I'd say that the basic AI isn't really threatening the humans or human production or jobs as we know it. Those ones are pretty harmless. They'll get more efficient, more faster work. But there are companies who are pushing it to the limit by producing AI that does not need human assistance. Like, it will learn from itself. It would a bunch of things. So most people are afraid when you hear AI. Most people are afraid that they will overthrow humans, and to be honest, that might be possible. We never know. But tech giant Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, said that there's going to be a time, maybe in the future, 20 or 30 years from now, that we are going to be in danger from AI. These AI are going to be maybe 3 times or 4 times smarter than us, and it will not be good for us.
The question here is, why should we feel threatened? I mean, taking over our day-to-day activities shouldn't be a problem. I mean, I want to go to bedroom now. Let's say I want to have my baits, and there's a machine that will just automatically, just make that happen to me. I don't have to scrub my body or, get water and, the rest of them. All I need to do is just to go into maybe jacuzzi and I get my baits, and immediately it will transport me back to my room, wear my clothes for me, my shoes and everything. Why do you think we should worry?
There are companies who are trying to do the impossible, as we know it. Like, they are trying to introduce emotions to these machines. So let's just say you as a person are being so-called servants to another person, making their beds and stuff like that. You wouldn't feel that good. So if they do manage to develop an AI which has feelings and emotions, then we never know what might happen. We might just rebel or something like that. So that's why people are afraid that these machines who are actually learning without human assistance and getting this information and becoming better every day, that's a bit too much. It's a bit too powerful. So
before we press it further on that, I would like you to just break it down a little bit. Now, when we're talking about artificial intelligence, for those people that have an idea of what we're talking about, it could be a little bit puzzling when we talk about artificial intelligence, maybe because there's an artificial to it. How do we get the idea of what we're talking about? When we mention artificial intelligence, is it software-based or hardware?
Mostly it's software.
Okay.
But you can combine the two. But there are more important things that would go into an AI to make it an AI. You have different things like planning, learning. So if an AI does not learn, then it could not be called an AI. It's just some software that was programmed to do something. So an AI is something that is breaking. It's not scripted. It's not programmed to do this. It is learning every day without human assistance. It's got planning, learning, a bunch of things that can manipulate objects if it was physically. It can grab objects, pick up objects by itself, decide what to do with it. Like there's an example of one of the smartest AIs out there called Sophia. This was produced by a company. I don't know which name it was, but it is classified as one of the most smartest AI, and is also a certified citizen of Saudi Arabia.
Are you kidding me?
They actually made a robot a citizen of Saudi Arabia.
So in Saudi Arabia, to be specific, in Dubai, a robot was created to mimic what the bodyguard is going to be doing. You know, there's a lot about it, a lot of fake news about it, that maybe the king of Bahrain is using this robot as bodyguard. What's your have you seen that video?
Yes, I've seen that video.
What can you say about that?
It's amazing. Like I've seen, they have perfected it in every way, but there are small minor things that they could have changed, like in terms of size. They could have made it more human.
I love that size. It's I think something around 8 to 9 feet.
Yeah, so to make it more human side would be good, and to make less noise, because I heard there was a lot of noise coming.
So where's the world going? We are not living on the Mars. We're still on Earth, and we got to see a lot, and of course on the program there's a lot to talk about. Let's go for a break now. We'll be right back. The program is still Money and Technology. Stay with us.
I'm privileged to be invited to this wonderful and prestigious event. السلام عليكم. كيف حالكم أيها الحضور الرائعون؟
Wow, what a futuristic police stand! Is it IDEX 2019 or 2050? Dubai Police always surprise us with the latest police technology to protect us and keep our lives safe, simple, and easy.
Welcome back to the program, Money and Technology, reaching you from our channel here, CBA TV, the voice of East Africa and beyond. I'm still in the studio with my co-presenter, Prince Hamza Muhammad. Now, before we went for that break, we were talking about the robots, you know, that is practically replacing the job of many bodyguards, because I learned that if it is true, you know, the robot can see from a very long distance if any arm is coming. It can save the president or the king, you know, and just carry him from the mob. It can shoot, it can dance. It has a lot of things. Or what more can you say about the robot?
It could do a lot of things. Most videos that I've seen was it being funny, so it could like relate to more people. So what they're trying to do there that I've seen is they're trying to present something as an AI as something that's not scary, something that should not be threatening. So you see Titan, as they call the AI, joke with people.
I love that it can speak like 6 languages.
Yeah, 6 languages. So there was a video I've seen that he would walk up to a couple and say, "Is this your girlfriend?" and stuff like that.
Very funny.
Then he would turn to a sheikh and speak to him in Arabic. It can clearly identify which people is from which background and what kind of how old they are. It looked at a baby and it spoke to the baby. So it's very sophisticated.
Very amazing, very amazing. From what the composition of that robot, will say that is a little bit smarter than human. But God is very amazing. The way we are created, we can be very smarter, and we adapt to a situation. That's the limitation of robots, when I'm talking about. Now, let's have a list of the leading softwares in the world that are doing this job of AI. For those people that might invest interest in joining the trend, you understand? I'm not advertising, but Google seems to be, to me, one of the very few softwares that are doing a little bit of automation. Like you're typing, let's say you are looking for, this morning I was searching for something about maybe, and just before I finished that typing, it has suggested a long list of things that I might have in my mind. You understand? So that's very smart. What are other lists of softwares out there that are doing amazing jobs?
One that is quite popular, that is basically used for people who know English as a second language or struggling with writing, is Grammarly.
Grammarly.
So what they do is, you are writing a document, essay, Grammarly will sit on the background. It will check your spelling mistakes, it will learn from you, and it will teach you how to learn English and stuff. And there's also a very, very cool feature it has on there. So let's say a teacher has assigned students an assessment test or an essay, a long essay to write, and you can tell some students would want to take sources from many places because they don't feel like doing work. Grammarly has a function where this AI in real time, what it will do is the teacher will take that essay and put it through Grammarly, and it would search whether it's plagiarized or not, to see if they got that from somewhere else.
Wow.
So it will give you a bunch of sources saying that, this content came from here, it came a bit from here and here. So it's redefining what we know as basic AI, or AI that seems common, that you don't know or think that's an AI. And you have more advanced ones like autonomous cars or vehicles.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, in the graphics world, I learned that there are some softwares that helps to create a lot of logos for companies that might want to develop logos now, and instead of having to engage designers out there that will take like several days, several months just to give you a specific logos or brand, that software is very smart, and all it needs is just your name, the name of the company, what you do, and the rest of that. It's going to give you like about 10 lists of different logos that you can choose, and I bet you there's no how you're dropping any of this. Sometimes the comment we get to hear from people is the fact that they might even find it very difficult to drop even 2 or 3 out of the suggested logos that this engine is going to suggest to them. Now, in the graphics world also, I do a little bit of graphics. If you want to do animation, for instance, in those days, it takes a lot of time. Aside from last time we talked about all those systems that will enable you to, like gaming system, that will help you to develop very fast. You're going to start from sketching. It takes a lot of time. Let's say I want to draw you, I just want to animate you, I will draw you, and then I will just simulate it into my software. Then I begin to sculpture, modeling. It takes a lot of powers from the computer, and a lot of powers also from your brain too. But these days, there are a lot of softwares that are making it very simple. There's this virtual, photo scan, you understand? If I want to make you, let's say I want to model you now, what you need to do is just to take like a 360 kind of camera, wherein if you have seen, maybe there's this software, they call it Shogun, like Shogun, or this company, I think Digitech are very, very proficient in that. They just take a lot of shots from different angles, and the software is there for you. The moment you impute all those pictures or the video into the software, it's just going to model you, artificially, and it will look, I tell you, just exactly the way you are. It saves a lot of time But there's one thing that all these softwares that we're talking about are really posing to people. And that's what I want you to talk about now, because on this program, it's all about money and technology. I think you've talked about it. What are the disadvantages of this AI that we're talking about? Let's start from money.
Okay, so for developing AI, it's very, very expensive. You have basically what they need is when a company is deciding to manufacture or develop an AI, what they need to do is they need to get a very good pitch. Because if it's not a good AI, they need fundings.
Okay.
So many companies have fundings over 100 million, 200 million, 50 million. So
Apple, from my search, I found out that Apple actually acquired, I forgot the name of
Siri.
that, Siri. Yeah. Siri costs Apple around like $200 million. That's a whopping amount of money.
They have the money. They have the money. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but there are difficulties. Like if you're not a company who has multi-million or billion-dollar company,
Okay.
you need fundings.
Okay.
So what you do is these people, they try to make the best artificial intelligence as possible, and they need fundings from it. So they'll get fundings from maybe tech giants like Mark Zuckerberg. Like I know Mark Zuckerberg and most billionaires out there are actually funding some AI projects out there right now.
Okay.
So it's very, very expensive, and you can't afford to mess up. So number one is cost for that AI.
Okay. What about this insinuation that in 2030, over 40% of what human beings do, is going to be replaced by artificial intelligence? What threat do you think this portends to humanity?
To be honest, I think that it's going to be very, very devastating. Or when they
a lot of people are going to lose their jobs.
A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. There are some companies right now who are actually laying off their workers because they found out that they could use machines. Like I would say, back the last decade, before they had robotics, not AI but robotics, there was this company. Some companies would have toothpaste companies.
Okay.
So they would take and they would screw on the lid. Back in those days, they would screw on the lid manually.
Okay.
So since they found robotics to do all this, a lot of people have been fired from these works and stuff like that. So when you see people or these Coca-Cola company and stuff, many companies, they're all robotics. So I'd say when they learn how to fully make an AI, then I'd say that it won't be good for the job industry then.
It won't be good at all. Imagine what we're doing, like presentation having to be replaced by robots. Maybe the way we're talking to you, audience, is good. In the next how many years now, human beings won't be needed anymore. That's very, very devastating.
But there is a counter trend though.
Okay.
There is something recently that came up that it's very interesting. You are familiar with Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla. Yeah. He's been developing this project secretly within these last few years.
Okay.
And he recently went into a press conference and said that in 30 to 40, maybe 50 years, AI is going to take over. So he's saying, I'm afraid of that, but I'm developing something which can make us technically almost AI. So he has developed something called Neurolink, which is a chip. And most people are very skeptical about it because what he's saying is he's trying to combine human intelligence and AI intelligence in one.
How is that going to be?
So what he has developed is a chip that would be implanted in your brain. But it's not that, it's very, very comfortable, as he said. He's saying that the chips is 10 times smaller than human hair. So you will not feel anything. It will just sit at the back of your head and you will have something at your ear. So he's saying that if this actually is a success, it would be the future as we know it. So you see these movies that would show futuristic stuff.
Yes.
So I would look at you And with my Neurolink, I will have information about you, your height, Google. So it's like Google in your head. You don't need to go in a computer anymore. So if you want to search the weather in Somaliland, you've got it in your head and everything like that. So he's developing that, and most people are pretty scared about that. So
on a lighter note, the first person that predicted that there's going to be a mobile phone, I learned that the man was first of all jailed. Said, what nonsense are you talking about? You know, it has always been a very gigantic phone in front of you that you need to, just be winding it over and over. And this guy was predicting that in the future, there's going to be a mobile phone, very small. It has come to pass. Now, there's another prophecy that in the nearest future, there won't be a phone again, and there won't be all this chip that is just going to read your card, and if you want to call anybody, you just do like this, and the person feel it in the body. Do you think that's possible?
If you have the greatest minds, or a lot of people looking into this stuff, then I think it is possible, because we have you see how technology has advanced, and we have more powerful systems, and we had a phone that was the size of a brick, and now we have something that's very tiny.
Yes.
So things are becoming more portable, more efficient, more fast. So I think in the future, yes, it would be very possible for them to create those.
Your advice to people now, the young people, in preparation for what might happen in the next 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years to come, the youth, how do you advise them to join the trend of artificial intelligence?
So I would advise people in the future to look into technology-based work, because right now, as we know it, our whole world is revolving around technology. So if you find a field of work that's technology-based, then you would fit in just fine, because back in those days, everything was manual. Now you have everything automatic. You need people to manufacture those AIs. You need people to produce, and you need people to work on that AI. So more functions.
All right. On that note, I think we have to call it a wrap, because our time is fast spent. We want to really appreciate those people, you out there, watching this program. We hope you have learned one or two things from our discussion. Something came to my mind, and I feel it's going to be very advantageous, as the artificial intelligence is growing by the day. I have the intention of marrying like 20 wives, and instead of tearing myself into pieces, I'm just going to employ the job of artificial intelligence to help me attend, when they come around to ask for anything, just go and attend to that. That will make a lot easier of things. That's a joke. It looks like a joke, but nothing is impossible. Okay? That's the world of artificial intelligence. We've got to prepare our minds for this. The world is there, not going there. We are already in the world of artificial intelligence, so we've got to prepare. Youth of nowadays take advantage of these opportunities. Of course, jobs are being lost by the day. So if you have the know-how, technological know-how, or the idea of intelligence, artificial intelligence, you might have the chance to take that big job on your way. Money and Technology is the program. We'll go now and be right back. Same time, same station, and I'm sure same presenters, and you too. The world is moving. We also must move. My name remains Ajara Ahmed Tijani, and my co-presenter,
Prince Hamza Mohammed.
It's a bye-bye.